people may tell me, hey, DeMarcus, you should approach, a job situation this way, or, you should approach your apartment, but I'm realizing in my head the results that I'm getting and how my life is shaping is way different from the jump than what you're telling me. And I know the confidence in what I'm able to achieve or able to get is way different than how you're seeing the world. So you're not even going to be able to provide me any type of feedback or recommendations because you're not even getting these small results that I'm getting. See, these small results that I'm getting are bigger than some big results that people be telling me about. And that's not to be cocky or anything like that. That's just to humbly brag about myself. And it's because there's been too many times where people would give their opinions about what they thought about me or what they think I should do or whatever, not even realizing that I'm already getting the result way before you're even providing this information. And I'm already at the thought process of doing this particular thing. And you haven't even asked me what my thought process is around this. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves when people will provide suggestions or things on what you should do or how you should go about things when you're not even taking time to even ask me my thought process or understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because if you look at the way society is and they're telling you that the way in which people are trying to build this and that this is how the average person goes about it, well, that could be true. But just because you hear that in conversations or you hear that in certain type of groups or whatever, doesn't mean that that's fully how somebody is. So you also, what people fail to do is ask the further questions and truly take time to get to know people. And I feel like not even just the pandemic, it's been for years and years. Like people don't want to take the time to understand things further. People think very baseline. This is of all ages. And not until people go through some crazy situations that they're able to realize that, hey, I may have to go about things in a different way, or hey, you know what? I should have really taken the time to understand this person or be willing to listen to this person because now I see what they're saying. But when you're in rooms and you're doing that along the process of building, you're going to feel so much more happy because you're dealing with your life situations in the moment. And I realized for myself that when it came to certain processes, when it came to trying to understand how this works, when it came to understanding why people are moving in the way that they do in the moment versus pushing things off just because I wanted to steer myself away from conflict or whatever, when I was able to deal with it in that moment and process it and let myself express my emotions, man, I realized at 28 years old, I'm on a way different island than a lot of people. And the reason being is because, especially people in their 20s, a lot of people aren't taking time to process emotions. They're not willing to take the steps to understand feelings or to be able to see the room or work on their emotional intelligence. And I realized that a lot of people wait until their 30s or 40s because they're like focusing on, just having fun and messing up in their 20s and the 30s and 40s are going to be the sweet life. And nowadays that's the time to have family and kids. But you've got to work on that now because you don't want to wait until you get to that point to where you're getting older and to where things shift. People aren't partying as much anymore. People are settling down more. People are, in a sense, a bit more serious in their life. And then now you've got to rush to get to this level of seriousness that everybody else is. You should be doing that now. And I realized that as a person that can be outgoing, that can be goofy, that can love to express herself, I take life very seriously and I take the people in my life very serious as well. I don't take anyone for granted. There's not a single person that is of value to my life and I take them for granted. That's not a thing at all. And I listen to people very, very firmly. I listen to my own emotions and how I feel. And over time, as I've went through a lot of life situations, I've calculated my feelings in those moments. And I've also calculated how other people move. And I've realized that a lot of people never change. A lot of people never change. And a lot of people, within the small changes that they may have made, something happened where they were either bored or they wanted to move out of complacency, but a lot of people haven't challenged themselves to feel uncomfortable with how life is and feel uncomfortable with the results that they're getting. See, you're going to go through life situations where you don't have money, where you don't have things flowing or whatever, but a lot of people, when they say be uncomfortable with getting uncomfortable, a lot of times they're talking about for business and trying to, get money and build your brand. But people ain't talking about that from an emotional standpoint. Hey, it's uncomfortable going into a room to where you're someone that can have opinions and people ain't willing to hear you. That's uncomfortable. But people ain't telling you in that same situation, hey, you know what? Go to this event, say a couple things that you got to say, see how people react. Hey, take a step back and listen to how other people are speaking. If you're going to an event where these same people are going to be there, you know what? See how it is next time we go to that event. See how it is whenever you go into that room the next time and you don't say nothing at all. Are people going to notice that, hey, DeMarcus ain't really speaking as much as he typically does? Hey, you know what? We actually missed. I would like to hear DeMarcus's opinion. Or, you know what? Shoot, we know DeMarcus, he wasn't about nothing anyways. See how people maneuver and react, because the money, when you get money, it's different. Because money is something that people praise so much. Money is something that can come and go. But as far as emotions and how you feel, there's only certain moments in our lives that we get the chance to be able to adjust these in certain situations. Because if not, things are going to linger on over time. Like I can be like, hey, I'm getting a job right now. I can work towards that, and I'm getting employed. Boom, boom, boom. And I'll be like, hey, you know what? I want to change. My job situation. I want to be able to go into something different. I'm not really liking this. Yeah, you can adjust it, but unless there's something to where you've had, like, a crazy case or something that's went on with your job, something that's harmed your life, most of the time it's just either I don't like this job, I'm letting it go, I got fired. But when it comes to your emotions, these are things that can really create a crease in your life and your heart. These are things that can carry with you for forever. There's parts of our emotions and feelings that, if we don't take the time to adjust that, we may never recover. For a job, you can go and recover at any point. You may not be able to get the same type of money you was once getting, but you can get some type of money. But being able to be in situations where you can express your feelings, where you can feel that your voice is heard, where you can be able to express yourself in your love and care, and being able to, be at certain points where you can find people around you that are willing to, like, you may not find that if you don't take the time to express it, recover, take accountability for your life now. Because what we don't understand is, what people don't understand is, people are people, humans are humans. Life's gonna keep moving. People are gonna change, right? Yeah, markets can change, society can change, but at the end of the day, a job's gonna be a job. It's something that's gonna be able to pay you. A 9 to 5s are always gonna be here, whatever it is. But as far as people pass away, people move on in their lives, people adjust their lives, people may get married, have kids, people's thought processes are going to change, people go through heartbreak situations, they go through removing people out of their lives. And if you're not willing to take accountability and learn how you move now, you may lose out on understanding how you can be your best self when there's people right there that are willing to be able to help you get there. For me, when I'm in rooms, I realized a long time ago, like, there were times where I was very opinionated about things. And for a couple close people, that turned them away and got them annoyed. And I had to realize for myself in that moment, I was like, you know what? I can have my opinions, but I can't be coming at people so strong to where I'm not allowing them to express themselves and feel like with everything that I'm saying is right. How am I going to be able to learn? How am I going to be able to become my best self if I'm not willing to hear somebody else's perspective fully out? And it's okay if I don't agree with it. It's okay if I don't understand it, or if it's something that's bullshit and don't make sense. But if I'm allowing myself to process what somebody else is saying, being able to process the information, being able to hear them out to where, they can say whatever they want to or whatever, it's different if they're coming at me being disrespectful and saying something that's off the wall. And even if they are saying something that's off the wall, don't have to do with me, I can realize for myself, you know what? I'm processing everything that they said, and I don't want to be like that. By me asking questions, because I am listening. See, that's the thing. If I'm listening and I'm taking time to understand what they're saying, even though if it's BS, I'm asking questions because it's going to help me to understand. I don't want to be like that. Hey, somebody can talk about their relationship status. They can talk about, the bad experiences that they had at their job. And I may have had bad experiences as well. But then I can realize, you know what, maybe my situation ain't as bad as I'm making it. Well, let me hear this person out and see what they going through. And then based on them saying, oh, it's everybody else's fault, I can maybe look at my life and say, you know what? I see how negative this person's being. I need to go ahead and start taking accountability now because I don't want to be like that long term. I don't want to go through those similar type of situations. I don't want to keep going down these rabbit holes of not taking accountability because what's going to happen is I'm gonna move forward in my life and I'm gonna turn into this person that's 4 or 5 years older than me, and I'm gonna continue doing the stuff that I'm doing now, and I'm gonna turn into how they moving. I don't want to be like that, and so this is kind of like I'm going all over the place. I'm kind of scatterbrained with it, but when you're being different, and more so for this episode, your thought processes and the way that you move, I'm telling you, that's going to set you apart. And I've realized that a lot. Like the results that I get, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people from the outside, they'll see the way in which people show love and care to me, and they're thinking that I'm getting that because I'm trying to please or I'm trying to be someone that I'm not. I've been told before, or whatever. But they're completely wrong because you're not realizing that, hey, I'm just over here showing love. I'm doing stuff that people aren't willing to do. I'm gonna say hi to you. I'm gonna check in on you, make sure you're good. I'm gonna check in to make sure somebody got home. I'm gonna hold the door and ask how somebody's day's going. You know why? Because I remember so many times where people didn't do that for me. Even to this day, there's sometimes where people don't do that, but the ones that care about me, the ones that love DeMarcus, they do it. And I know that that love that I feel whenever I'm going through those situations, whenever other people are, I can share that to other people because that's in my nature and I'm not going to change. But for the people that aren't used to seeing individuals that can move like that don't have to switch up who they are, it's different because you ain't been around that. See, when you're around people like myself, like you all out there that feel like this, it's a different ball game because you're going to get different results than people. And a lot of people can't see it from the outside looking in because they don't have the emotional intelligence to be able to digest that. There's going to be a lot of things in which they maybe can relate to, but they can't relate to who you are and what you're going through because they don't move like you do. And I've been working on continuing to be humble, but you know what? I got to be talking my shit more. And so when people are giving me props about something, it's like, you know what? Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, DeMarcus, you good at this. Hey, you know what? That means a lot. And in my head, I got to be like, yeah, I'm good. If somebody's talking that talk, yeah, I'm good at what I do. But I shouldn't have to shift who I am as an individual to receive that. I shouldn't have to be cocky because of that. I shouldn't have to feel bad because I shouldn't have to feel bad because I'm getting results that other people aren't. That's a testament to the work that we are doing. That's a testament to all the times that you went through what you went through, but you continue to stay on your 10 toes and you continue to feel okay with being different. You weren't someone that, even at times, if you may have tried to fit in or however, as I talked about in my previous episodes, you were someone that still felt as if there was something different that you had to offer the world and you stuck to that. And a lot of times people, they're not able to get the results that you're getting. They're not able to see how life can move in the way that you're moving in. So when you start to minimize how much access you give people to your life, then it's going to look really different. Hey, they can see you all the time and be like, hey, I see, I'm seeing DeMarcus getting some results. Also, too, I see DeMarcus is being a lot more quiet. There's something going on with DeMarcus. He's not acting himself. Ain't nothing going on. Maybe it's where I just realized, you know what? I don't need to be even giving this space this type of energy. Hey, even though I'm feeling good about myself, I'm holding myself accountable, I still was giving out too much. And when we take the step to take the time to realize that, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. And that's when I was bringing in the example earlier. Like when it comes to music, entertainment, and all that, like, yeah, we can be different. And we can be different in how we like different areas or we're interested in different parts of our lives. When it comes to different genres or whatever. But the way in which you maneuver, the way in which you utilize things for your own life and you're able to express your emotions and take accountability and utilize your emotional intelligence, man, I'm telling you, that is a whole different ball game that a lot of people, man, still can't get down. They can relate to you on a lot of different aspects. And the reason why I know this too, I can keep going on for forever. I've been able to sit down and talk to friends, and we've been able to share similarities in the way in which we feel that people did us, the way which we were approached, the way in which we were able to process our emotions in the time. You know what? Those individuals recognize that. But you know where a lot of people fall short is they only allow themselves to feel their own emotions temporarily. You know this is how you felt in the situation, but you rather dismiss how you felt. You rather dismiss your emotions. You rather dismiss the whole scenario because someone else is showing you something different. And you felt that this was only a temporary satisfaction. No, how you felt, or you felt like it was is a temporary negative. No, how you felt and what was going on in that moment and the results that you got, whether it's if it's positive results, you got those results because of who you are. If it was negative, hey, you experienced that not because you were always the problem, maybe because other people in those situations they ain't the right people to be around. But the more that you continue to put your feelings and emotions to the side and you don't take time to look at things from a broad standpoint, you're going to continue to fall into these traps. And people are going to be able to control you and use you for the person that you are versus appreciating the person you are. And again, it's quality over quantity. On the back end, I guarantee, especially as a person that's multifaceted and a person that's different, you're gonna get a certain type of love that other people ain't getting. You're gonna get results that other people ain't getting. And you should be proud of that. You're gonna have people open up to you and express themselves in ways that's way different, ways in which they, in a sense, if there was money on the table, they would literally charge others to tell about their lives versus you getting it hand on. You learn more things about them in 5 minutes, and people that known them for their whole lives are learning in 20. I mean, learning in you're learning more about people in 5 minutes than people that have known them their whole lives are knowing about them. And that just speaks to you taking accountability, your emotional intelligence, and your willingness to listen and learn. Are you always going to get it right? Hell no. But I guarantee that you're going to feel way better because you're not only feeling different, you're moving different and being different than the average person. And that's my episode for today. I'll probably even do another segment on this in the future because I wanted to make more sense and I wanted to I want to even express myself more and how this has been a big part of my life. And it's something that I continue to learn more about myself each and every day. A lot of conversations that I'm a part of, a lot of spaces that I'm in. And I realized that, you know what, DeMarcus, man, you got to keep talking your ish because the results that you're getting is because of the work that you put in. And you can't feel a type of way because you getting love that other people aren't. Just because they can't do what you do and aren't willing to or whatever, that should not take away from what you getting. And if people want to form their opinions or whatever, it'll be it. That's on them. But you shouldn't have to minimize who you are because other people ain't seeing it like that you see it. So that's episode 6. I'll probably end up doing this into 2 parts. So if you do see that on my page, just know that this is the same episode. But man, this is beautiful. As I'm continuing just to go through different aspects of my life, I'm talking in the way in which I think and move. Um, I know that I can like kind of scramble whenever I'm having these conversations, but especially like on the podcast episode, I want this to make sense and to be able to have depth with it. So for those that feel me and understand, again, everybody's not going to be able to understand this because everybody's not going to take the time to truly do that work. And so for the ones that do, man, this is for us. And I want you to know that continue being who you are, continue being okay with people not being able to see why you're getting the results that you're getting, being okay with feeling that it's great to be different and fall in love with being misunderstood because you're going to experience that a lot throughout your lifetime. Peace.